Welcome to the Tech Clean California contractor onboarding training about the new heat pump water heater incentives and the key requirements you need to know. By the end of this training, you will understand an overview of the new incentive levels, eligible projects, and other key rules. You'll also understand the new customer enrollment requirements and why those are important and beneficial to customers. All the information shared during this training is available in more detail online. Please see the links under this video. Heat pump water heater incentives and key rules. Tech is relaunching $80 million worth of new heat pump water heater incentives, which are available statewide starting October 31st, 2023. The incentives are available to all residential customers throughout California, and there is also a new budget for commercial customers. However, this is available in select territories only. Please reference our Tech Contractor Knowledge Base article, Qualifying Home Types and Customers, for more information. Incentives are available for retrofit projects only, not new construction. These new incentives come with some new requirements that most contractors are likely unfamiliar with, so it's important to absorb the information in this training to ensure your projects are eligible. At a high level, the new requirements are that contractors must set up the heat pump water heaters to shift electricity usage off evening peak hours. And customers must agree to be enrolled on a time of use rate, if not already on one, and must enroll in a demand response program. We'll talk more about these requirements later. First, let's understand the eligible heat pump water heater project types. You'll see us refer to these names a lot, including in the next slide that shows incentive amounts. For a little terminology, unitary just means one heat pump water heater installed per dwelling or business. The heat pump water heater equipment itself can be integrated units or split systems. Residential unitary is any residential project where the heat pump water heater is serving a single dwelling. This includes both single-family unitary and multifamily unitary projects. Multifamily is any property with two or more dwelling units. We sometimes group single-family and multifamily unitary into one category of residential unitary because they share a lot of the same rules, such as incentive structures. Multifamily central is any multifamily project with one central heat pump water heater system providing hot water to more than one household. Commercial unitary is any project where the heat pump water heater is serving one non-residential customer. They don't have to be truly commercial buildings. They could be any non-residential building, such as a government building or school. The commercial unitary category includes small business unitary, which means the project uses the same equipment as residential unitary and follows the same rules. It also includes large commercial, which means the project uses commercial heat pump water heater equipment. All types of multifamily projects, as well as large commercial projects, require a reservation and proof of milestone before submitting the final incentive claim. Please note that there's a 90-day timeline which begins at reservation confirmation before proof of project milestone must be submitted with all design drawings and equipment specification. Here are the incentives. There's a lot to see here. Most importantly, incentives are higher than ever before, and that is because of the new optimization requirements, which we will discuss soon. It's also important to note that incentives can stack or layer with other heat pump water heater incentive programs. The total incentives from Tech plus other programs are capped at the total project cost. Applicants will need to note on the claim form the total amount of other incentives contributing to the project. You'll notice that for each type of residential incentive, there are two rows, for general market and equity. Higher equity incentives are available to customers who meet certain income thresholds. Please reference our knowledge base article, Equity Budget Eligibility and Verification, to learn more. Next, you can focus on the first column as the base incentive level. Incentives start at $3,100 for general market and $4,185 for equity. Amounts are pre-calculated for all project types except for multifamily central and large commercial. For those projects, our team will work with you to calculate the incentive per project based on the thermal storage capacity of the system. The additional columns are additional incentive amounts that a project can earn if the heat pump water heater uses a low global warming potential refrigerant, if the tank size is 55 gallons or larger, or if eligible electrical upgrades are required. Note that the tank size adder and the electrical incentives are only available for residential unitary projects. Here are the electrical costs that can be covered with the $2,000 general market upgrade incentive and the additional pre-electrification costs that can be covered with the $4,000 equity upgrade incentive. The $4,000 can cover a combination of the electric and pre-electrification costs, up to 100% of the total upgrade costs. The $2,000 electrical upgrade general market incentive is capped at 50% of the total electric upgrade cost. Feel free to pause on this slide if you want to absorb the details, but remember, all of this information is also available on the Tech Contractor Knowledge Base and other program resources. Here are some important rules to remember for all your project types. TMVs are required on all installations and must be properly installed and calibrated. TMVs must conform to the standards listed on the slide. Contractors must pass 100% of the incentive to the customer, and the incentive amount must be listed on the invoice. It's recommended to provide the incentive as an instant deduction to the project cost, but contractors are also allowed to do a delayed pass-through if they wish. Incentives are available for all types of replacements except heat pump water heater replacements, and the incentive amount is the same regardless of the former water heater type. For residential unitary projects, heat pump water heaters must be sized at a minimum to meet California Plumbing Code first hour rating. Please refer to the table on this slide and in other program resources. We will be asking for a number of bedrooms and bathrooms on the incentive claim form and cannot approve incentives for undersized heat pump water heaters. Here's a quick overview of the equipment requirements. Feel free to pause on this slide, and you can also reference the qualifying equipment articles on the knowledge base, as well as the qualified products list on the incentive resources page of the Tech Contractor Hub. Please note that while most units on the market are eligible, there are additional equipment requirements as compared to the first round of tech incentives. Now it's time to learn more about the scheduling and enrollment requirements that we mentioned at the beginning of this training. We know that a lot of this is new, but will all help customers reduce their electricity bills and contribute to additional societal benefits. First, what do the new requirements mean and why are they important? Time of use rates are electric rate plans with prices that are varied based on the time of day and the season. They include off-peak hours with lower prices and peak hours with higher prices. In California, off-peak hours are during the daytime, with peak hours most commonly between 4 to 9 p.m. Demand response programs reward customers for making small changes in their energy usage, most often to decrease electricity during peak hours. As California continues to electrify, we see in the evening or peak hours that there is more electricity demand on the grid as compared to the middle of the day when solar and clean energy are more abundant. This makes it harder for California to provide enough clean electricity to meet the evening demand for electricity. So in order to continue to electrify and also make California's electricity supply cleaner with more renewable resources, we have to shift some of the electricity demand out of the evening hours and into the daytime. Heat pump water heaters have the special ability to act like a battery with their large tanks of hot water and shift electricity usage from the evening to the daytime. They can be optimized to heat up to their full temperature during the middle of the day, which means that they can reduce their energy usage during evening hours, only using electricity if needed. Customers still have hot water whenever they need it, so there's no comfort impact. This is why the state of California is providing higher incentive levels for heat pump water heaters than ever before, because they provide these additional benefits when installed in this optimized way. This is what contractors will achieve by setting the heat pump water heater to follow a time of use rate, or for multifamily central and large commercial, using custom scheduling. Customers on time of use rate benefit from this type of optimization because they will be using electricity when the prices are lowest and will avoid paying the highest electricity prices. The demand response program enrollment is an additional optimization opportunity. Demand response programs encourage participants to make slight shifts to when they use energy to further reduce demand for electricity during peak hours. There are two types of optimization required: enrollments for customers and scheduling for contractors. Customers must enroll in a demand response program and agree to be enrolled on a time of use rate if they're not already on one. More on this in a couple slides. Contractors must set up the heat pump water heater to shift load or electricity usage off peak hours. For residential unitary and small business unitary, contractors set the heat pump water heater to follow time of use rate, meaning it will prioritize heating during the middle of the day and will minimize electricity usage during peak evening hours. For the heat pump water heaters on the qualified products list for these types of projects, setting this up is simple, just a few clicks on the manufacturer's phone app. For these projects, we'll need applicants to upload a photo or screenshot from the manufacturer app confirming successful setup when submitting the incentive claim. For more information on how to set up these schedules, including manufacturer-specific instructions, as well as guidance on the correct screenshot to capture, please reference the heat pump water heater time of use rate scheduling article on the Tech Contractor Knowledge Base. For multifamily central and large commercial, more custom scheduling will be needed. Instructions will be available on the multifamily and commercial web pages. Now we'll go into the details of what's being asked of customers and contractors for the new DR and TOU requirements. Requirements are different based on project type, so not everyone needs to do all of the above. Check out the table on the right side of the slide for more information. For both TOU and DR, the customer will specifically agree to the requirements by checking boxes on the tech program terms and conditions, which they will need to sign. If the customer doesn't have an eligible DR program or TOU in their area listed on our program website, then the enrollment requirements do not apply to them. Contractors will need to confirm that all the necessary boxes on the terms and conditions are checked, or else the incentive can't be paid. The terms and conditions contains links and QR codes for customers to learn more information and review their enrollment options. Use rate. The customer must agree to be transitioned to a TOU rate if not already on one. Many Californians are already on one, especially those who already have solar or an EV. The customer needs to provide their electric account number on the terms and conditions. This is necessary for the utility to be able to check whether they're on a TOU rate and put them on one if not. Contractors should take care to check that the customer put in the right number. If it's incorrect, we only need to reject the application and ask you to resubmit with the correct number. The terms and conditions clarify for each utility which number is needed, and we will also have a knowledge base article with more information. If you are comfortable asking for a copy of the customer's electric bill, you could pre-fill the correct account number in for the customer. Or when you're on site, you can ask them for a copy of their bill to review for account number accuracy. The handout flyer we're providing for you to give customers asks them to have their bill available when you arrive. For the demand response program enrollment. All customers must actively enroll in a qualifying demand response program. We can't facilitate this on the back end for them. Customers will have the option to enroll in any qualifying DR program of their choice. As discussed on the previous slide, there are many options. Enrollment can take as little as 3 minutes. Contractors are encouraged to familiarize themselves with the options and are invited to call out any option which they think will be the best for their customer to help narrow those choices. Contractors are expected to help the customer enroll before completing the sale. For any single-family and small business incentive claims, we will be paying out incentives before we confirm DR enrollment to support your cash flow. However, it's critical that the program sees a high percentage of customers enrolling in DR to ensure future funding, and we'll be verifying enrollment for every project. Corrective actions, such as program suspension, can be taken for contractors whose customers do not consistently enroll in a DR program. Thank you very much for attending this training and participating in Tech Clean California to install heat pump water heaters. We look forward to working with you.